Welcome to an edition of Harness Central. I'm Harold Howe, and I'm here with Howard Pearce, the brainstorm behind the Landmark stable. Howard, you probably more than any individual have been responsible for drawing new owners and fringe owners deeper into the game through the structuring of these quite inexpensive syndicates. One of the things that I'm very critical about racing on is the fact the cost of owning horses is absolutely crushing. From vet bills to training bills to board bills to you go on and feed bills, and yet there's no dialogue on this, no organized dialogue. People don't want to talk about it. I guess your concept has dealt with that. Just explain a little bit how you began the whole idea of Landmark and how it evolved to where it is today.
It really started 8 years ago when the SBOA created that mentorship program and attracted brand new owners, never before owners, into a group of 10 people that paid, I think it was $4,000 each, and the SBOA chose a mentor and chose a trainer. And from that group that chose Mark as a trainer.
That's Mark Stacey.
Oh, sorry, Mark Stacey, yes. Two or three or four of them said, we'd like to carry on with this. Why don't you organize another group and invite new people and so on? And I just retired, and I'm a passionate harness race fan. I said, okay.
So is this job kind of like a Senate seat?
I don't think it pays as well as Senate seats. But I talked it over with Mark. Mark's a longtime friend, and we just did that. We formed a group, and we had a contest and came up with the word Landmark. And from 4 or 5 of those original people, and then 3 or 4 of their friends, and somebody's cousin and somebody's aunt, we actually got a group of about 14 people together the first time. We're now up to, there's 28 people in Landmark 7, and I'm now putting together Landmark 8. And it's to address your comment, though, that is so true. What it costs to maintain a racehorse. We hold back a significant amount of money from the money collected. We only spend a portion of the money on buying yearlings, and we hold back the equivalent of $40,000 per 100% of a horse for the first year. That's what it costs to maintain a horse for 1 year.
So just to put a fine point on it, you shifted gears a little bit last year, and you changed the structure of the syndicate where a share for you to become involved is $2,000, correct? And the reasoning behind that?
Well, because of the government intervention, I'll try to be polite. We knew that we'd probably struggle with Landmark 7 because we knew that the purses were going to drop because of taking away the SARS program and so on.
And the feeling of pessimism.
Well, yeah, and there was pessimism. There's pessimism everywhere. So, and we wanted to keep it going. So we said, well, maybe there's people who would pay $2,000 for 1 share instead of 5. And in fact, that was dead right. There are a lot of people here now in this group who only bought 1 share for $2,000. There are others who bought multiple shares. We have no rule about that. You can buy 20 shares if you like. But the majority of people are just harness racing fans that just love the game and would love to experience the thrill of ownership. I often say it's like watching your kid in the Olympics. Even if you own a whisker of that horse out there, it's pretty exciting for a person.
Now, if we just use an example, Harper Blue Chip.
Yeah.
We're here at the Standard Canada sale. Last night, he grabbed third money in the Canadian Trotting Classic. Another nice payday. He's made about $400 this year.
He's over $400 this year, $600 lifetime.
I would argue that you and I could not have bought him as a yearling and then paid all the bills to this point and been able to survive. Would you think that's a fair comment? And would the people in the syndicates understand now that this is a great avenue to get involved?
I think so. The fact that we have so many repeat investors every year is an indication that you can get a really nice horse. He's an Ontario bred horse who can go with the Grand Circuit guys, with the Titans, let's say. He's probably the best horse that Landmark ever came through Landmark. But these people that own just like I say, there are how many? Landmark 6 owns Harper, and there are 17 people in Landmark 6. So and we only own 25% of them. So that's how fractional these fractional group stables are. But the people don't seem to mind. And the fact they never get a bill. And if it wasn't for email, there'd be no Landmark. I keep them up to date on training reports and what horses we buy and when they're entered.
And one criticism that I have about racing, and it's through no fault of anyone really, but the sense of community, camaraderie, it's so low. You go to the track and you hardly see anybody there. But I get the sense with this group through, email, and I know you have an open house down at Mark Stacey's in the spring, and of course being at the track, they turn out and, pretty strong force, the one that can. That does address some of that.
It does, and there's people who have never met each other. We have people from Alberta, New York, lots of people in Quebec, lots of people in Ontario, a guy from Michigan. They're from all over. But when we meet at the track and haven't never laid eyes on each other, it becomes a family. And we all wear these Landmark jackets, so we recognize each other, and there is a real camaraderie. Also on email, you wouldn't believe the emails I get from the members asking the greatest questions. I love
why did that guy drive our horse like that? So where are you going now with you're here today and so forth? Is there a new Landmark, and how is it being structured, and what do you do?
Okay, the shares this year are 2,000, the same as last year. I'm trying to get to 100 shares. I think we're at 74 as of today. We have our eye on a couple of yearlings here today. It'll depend on price whether or not we buy them. We will be going to the Lexington sale. I'm still, like I say, I'd like to get to 100 shares because that increases our buying power. We never buy 100% of a horse. We always buy 50% of the horse is the most common scenario, and then we share that ownership. The stable, Landmark stable, shares that horse with other of Mark's owners. Mark has a ton of repeat owners, and so every horse is owned with a different group of people, and then they become friends. So there is a real sense of community.
At the risk of putting your number out there for the masses of females who might want to call you, prospective owners who have an interest in getting in at not a big number, how do they get in touch with you?
The best, I guess the best thing to do is phone me on my cell, and we'll go from there. 613-484-3119, and then we'll connect by email. I'll send them all the paperwork. They send me the check, and like I say, you can buy one share or as many as you like, and we'll just go on from there. We'll become pen pals on email.
Okay. Well, Howard, congratulations on what you've accomplished with this group. It's a thankless job. I know. I can only imagine the hours you put into it. But good luck in the weeks ahead, and we'll see you at the sales.
Okay, Harold. Thank you very much.
Harold Howe with Howard Pearce, giving you the Harness Racing Edge.